So, this is Amy from Mountain Girl Company, and I want to talk about something today in regards to your pricing. So when you think of pricing, a lot of people just pull it out of thin air. That's a bad idea, and that is a bad idea all day. Do you know why? Because you have to pay taxes. You have to pay supplies. You have to keep the lights on. All of these things, all of these expenses need to be incorporated into your pricing package. All those phone calls, time, energy, money, all of that. You factor all of that in to your price. Why? Because in the end, you're paying a lot in taxes, right? I think I looked at it one day that for every hour that I work, 20 minutes of that goes to the tax man. So what does that mean for your business? It means that you need to start incorporating all of that cost up into your pricing. So maybe when you look at your competitors' pricing and you think, wow, they're really like a little bit higher than me because they're doing it the right way and they're incorporating all of their expenses up into the price of their product and services. This is a good way to do business because, you know, at the end of the year, we all get taxed. We all have to pay our taxes, or in my case, I pay the sales and use tax for local and the state on a monthly basis. It's a lot of money, and so you want to be able to recoup that money, because what you do is when you run your business, you are creating something, and when you create something, you want it to be priced right. So we do competitive analysis here where we're going to go and we're going to look at your competitors, not for sneaking around or anything like that. Are you competitive? It's very important to know that, because maybe you're charging too little. Maybe you're charging too much. We don't really know until we look into that, right? But having a business, it can be a lot of fun. Oh gosh, it's so much fun. I know so many creative people that have built a great life around their business, you know, because they've had the money to do things they want to do, to travel, to provide for their families, to have parties, to go on vacations, to live their life in a way that is pleasing to them. So with that said, please make sure that you are incorporating what you're paying in taxes into your package pricing, into your service pricing, however you're doing your business. Whatever you're doing, make sure that that's in there. Because at the end of the day, we're in this to create something wonderful, but we're also in this because we want to make money. You never want to be upside down on your packaging price, right? You never want to be paying for somebody else to use your services. That's the opposite of why we're in business. So, I recently had a client who, she was beating herself up. She's beating herself up because she had somebody give her very bad advice. They said, well, take this job, take this catering job. You know, this woman wanted her to work for just pennies, basically, to do this catering job. And she ended up going with another caterer. And I said, well, okay, well, what was the problem? Why do you think, you know, you didn't get picked for this job? And she said, well, somebody else, I think she went with a cheaper person. And when we started into the conversation, she said, yeah, I would have lost money on this catering job. And I was like, why would you think that's a bad thing to not do this job? There are a bunch of jobs out there that aren't going to pay. Don't take those jobs. Do not take those jobs. The reason you don't want to take those jobs is you're in business to make money. Next year, you might make a little bit more money. The following year, you may even make more money as you establish as an expert in the field that you work in. But do not ever work for free, ever. This is Amy with Mountain Girl Company, and this is just a little piece of advice for you. If you are thinking about starting a business, if you're looking into pricing your packages competitively, please just make sure that you're including all of the expenses that go into that package, because you don't want to be upside down. At the end of the day, you don't want to be losing money on your hard work. So, see ya.